Hello, in this video we're going to look at part 3 of the listening paper in the Cambridge English First exam. Part 3 is the multiple matching exercise. You will listen to 5 speakers talking briefly about the same topic, and then you have to match each one of them to a series of options. There are 8 options, there's only one that's correct for each person. As with the other videos in this series about the listening paper, we're using the PDF and MP3s that you can find in the description below. If you haven't already downloaded those, please do so now. We're looking at page 63 in the PDF, and this will be in the second series of MP3s in the zip file produced by Cambridge. So what do you have to do? Well, there are a few things that you need to be aware of before you begin this task. And the first thing is that the question itself that governs the whole of this part is kind of hidden a little bit. If you take a look at the PDF and you open to page 63, it says for part 3, you will hear 5 short extracts in which people are talking about happiness. For questions 19 to 23, choose from the list A to H what each person says happiness means to them. Use the letters only once. There are 3 extra letters which you do not need to use. Now, the question itself is rather hidden in that rubric. Cambridge don't even use a bold typeface to make it a little clearer what you're supposed to be listening for. And in my experience, a lot of students kind of get something wrong here, or they make a big mistake because they begin the listening without having a clear idea of what they're really listening for. So make sure you read that first. Before the listening, have a look through the options and try to think of other ways of expressing the same thing. Think about either changing the language in the description or about the vocabulary that might be used to talk about it. So you have the idea and you want the vocabulary that goes around it. Okay, so when you're ready, have a listen twice and get your answers. Then when you're ready, come back to us and we'll go through the answers speaker by speaker. Okay, speaker 1, number 19, the answer we want is D. Happiness is a short escape from everyday routine. The answer here is broken up over a little part of the speaking. They say, no stress, get away from it all for an hour or so. And then later, that brief moment of happiness helps me to reflect and make sense of my life. So we have this idea of the short escape being repeated twice, the for an hour or so and brief moment, and that gives us our answer here. For speaker 2, we begin with a long distraction. They talk about things like, if I think to be happy you do obviously need some financial security. They're talking about this, and then they talk about humour. But for me, it's all to do with setting yourself a list of things to get through, and then you've completed them. Now you can be happy. So for speaker 2, the answer we want is H. Happiness comes from achieving your goals. In speaker 3, there is a distraction again as well. If you look at the options, F says older people are less happy than younger ones. They talk about the difference in the generations, older people and younger people. Very young children are happy most of the time. Very old people are happy when they think of fond memories. Then he says the critical word, but. But in my experience, happy people get through life more easily. If you take things seriously all the time, that's when you get stressed or have health issues, maybe. And sometimes life can be a real pain, let's be honest. So for speaker 3, the answer we actually want is A. Having a happy personality allows you to cope effectively with problems. So we have to ignore that distraction first. We listen for the keyword but, and then we can find our answer. Speaker 4, we want G. G is happiness is being thankful for what you have. Halfway through this, they say, I also get moments when I'm just, say, sitting on a train And suddenly I think of my children's smiling faces and realize how lucky I am, how happy they make me. So this is the idea of being thankful. And finally, for number 5, the answer we want is C. Happiness is all about the experience of overcoming problems. They say, it might sound strange, but I honestly think it's all about your life not being too easy. If everything in your life is handed to you on a plate by rich parents, then I actually don't think you're as happy as someone who has had to struggle a bit in their life. Clearly, they haven't experienced being rich, so they wouldn't really know. But that doesn't matter. The answer we want then is C. And that's where we get it from. So, what have we learned? Well, Cambridge like to distract us by giving us information connected to the other options, but not actually using it in the answer that we want. So be careful for those sort of things. Always listen for words that introduce a contradiction or a change in meaning, like but. And use your time well. Listen twice. After the first listening, try to decide which option fits best, and then use the second listening to confirm or change your mind. In the next video, we'll look at part 4, which is the multiple choice listening task. So until then, thank you.